Alright, we're putting Utahraptors in Jurassic World now. This should be very interesting. I'm curious to see how this is going to go, especially whenever you look at the Velociraptors and then you bring accuracy into the mix. You realize that they were more so based off of Utahraptors than actual Velociraptors, because one thing I know for sure is that Velociraptors were more so about the size of a dog, maybe even a bit smaller. They weren't that big. They were not as big as the Velociraptors being shown in the Jurassic franchise, yeah. But, well, there's definitely reasons why that could be, because one, they're all genetically engineered monsters, so of course I gotta modify them to look, as cool and dangerous as they could. And then there's also the fact that, well, since we're talking about accuracy, one thing I will say is that I may have been a bit harsh whenever it comes to the accuracy of the dinosaurs in the Jurassic franchise. Mainly on the older movies, like with, the whole thing where, a T-Rex can still see you if you stand still and everything, because, that was a thing. And one thing I gotta do is cut some slack on that, because they were going off of the information they had back then, and now we have updated info now, which, who knows where the updates of all the info is gonna go back and forth, up, down, all around, everything. Yeah, who knows, yeah. But regardless, I'm curious to see how this is gonna go, so, yeah, let's just jump right in, shall we? Alright, this should be good. This should be.
The word
Utahraptors, Utahraptors are pretty cool, because, well, I mean, hell, a lot of raptor species are pretty cool, so this is gonna look cool regardless, yeah. And the main thing I remember seeing Utahraptors from is, from Ark, and, there's this other dinosaur game they were in, but I don't remember what it was called. Yeah, I don't know, but, yeah. Regardless, I'm curious to see how this is gonna go.
over the span of cinema history has been synonymous with fear, death, and carnage. But amongst the many types of raptors seen in the Jurassic franchise, absolutely none of these compares to the monstrous killing machine we will introduce today, whose big screen appearance might overshadow the rest of these animals and put them all to shame. Today on Goji Center, the geneticists of the Jurassic World universe will foolishly play God again.
This design is amazing. I love this. I love the blue and the feathers and everything. I love it.
And we'll find out what would happen if this predator is let loose, what it would look like, and if it would fit.
Well, one thing we know if it does get let loose is carnage. Absolute carnage. Not the comic, but you get the point.
In the roster of the already dangerous predators. Coming up,
Or at least that's what we think, because, we never... Because, whenever it comes to animal personality, for all I know, these guys could just leave us alone if they were alive. Well, maybe, I don't know. Who knows what would happen? Dinosaurs live today. Like I said in another video, if they were alive today, for all we know, we could be domesticating these motherfuckers, like how we do with bears and stuff, like... Which, when you think about it, that actually, it would be pretty cool. Like, can you just imagine, like, just living in modern-day time and having domesticated T-Rexes and everything, just walking around the city, riding on one and everything? Or riding around on a Utahraptor or something. That would actually be pretty cool, though. But also extremely dangerous. Yeah.
Utahraptor, Jurassic Park Edition. This episode is divided into 4 parts. First, discussing what this fella would look like if it was in a Jurassic film. After that, we will figure out how it would compare in size against the other animals in this franchise, followed by how it would hunt. And a special surprise section in the end. You won't want to miss this one. First things first, let's clear up a misconception a lot of people have had since 1993. Because the real Velociraptor was much smaller than the movie monsters running around with that name slapped on them, a lot of commentators...
Yeah, it was like, it really, like... If dinosaurs did exist today and they could be domesticated, this definitely would be. Like, a Velociraptor definitely would with how small it is now.
mistakenly thought that...
Just like a cute little giant feathered lizard and everything. Just pick it up and cuddle it and everything. And I'm like, this is my boy. He's a... call him whatever you want to call him or whatever. Yeah. And then just playing around with the dogs and everything or something. Yeah.
These things, and in the novel, were indeed Utahraptors. So we've assembled a bit of a visual aid to show the difference. This one is the big one from Jurassic Park, and this is not a big Utahraptor. Still think this little fella is a Utah?
So they're even bigger. Oh, jeez. Christ.
Raptor, The story of how the Jurassic Velociraptors wound up this large is a long one, but long story short, Utahraptor simply wasn't known at the time Michael Crichton wrote the novel or when Spielberg was in production. Scientists knew some monster raptor was out there, but the genus wasn't officially unveiled and named until the movie was effectively done. Instead, both the novel and film raptors were modeled after Deinonychus, which was the largest raptor known at the time. But even using the maximum size for Deinonychus, InGen slashers are dwarfed by their bigger cousins. And since the 90s, not only has newer details shown that the Utahraptor was unlike any other, but that it was even bigger than initially thought. Using what is known about the real-life creature and giving it the Jurassic treatment this series usually gives other animals, like the Giganotosaurus, Allosaurus, Tarbosaurus, animals who differ greatly from their real-life counterparts. Here's our prediction of how Utahraptor might look like if it ever appears in Jurassic. Note that this animal still has the scaly, reptilian look of the other raptors in this series, but since Jurassic is now more or less inclined to adopting feathery attributes to their new dino additions, a feathered Utahraptor is now not too far-fetched for a Jurassic Park rendition of this animal. Theropods in the Jurassic franchise tend to have longer legs and a somewhat more raised stance than their real-life counterparts. And to really sell that these are a brand new type of raptor, all of the traits that made Utahraptor unique will have to be exaggerated. Blade-like hooked claws on the hands, much larger in size, and better at slashing than the real-life Utahraptor. Thick, heavy serrated fangs with a distinctive curve in the jaw for a toothier maw. All on a stocky, powerful frame. This beast could crush a man's skull between its jaws, impale right through the chest of a dilo with its foot claws, or shred a bigger dinosaur's throat with its hands and jaws. And just how big would these beasts get? In a word, huge. Up next,
way too big to want to have to deal with it. Yeah.
Size. The Jurassic series already tends to use the biggest possible sizes for a lot of its dinosaurs, with some exceptions. During production of the first film, some of the ILM artists were worried that they were using a seemingly fictional monster of a huge Deinonychus, until paleo consultant Dr. Backer assured them that something big was coming, and at the time did not even realize how big that something was going to be. So, if we modify this Utahraptor to our Jurassic series parameters, an adult Utahraptor could stand over 8 feet tall and be upwards of 20 feet in length. And this isn't just a scaled-up Velociraptor with a new coat of paint. Utahraptor was far more robust than any other raptor known, on top of already being the largest and weighing nearly double the initial estimates.
So it's got bigger size, better defense, and better attack too. Like, this is the upgrade. Someone bring out the Homelander meme. The Homelander Soldier Boy meme. Bring it out, because this is the upgrade.
The largest Utahraptor known already had a femur over half a meter long. This was very likely not the maximum for its species. Using volumetric analysis to get an estimate of our movie monster, the Jurassic Utahraptor would wind up breaking the scales at over half a ton, or much higher. This means that this gut ripper of death could weigh between 3 to 5 times more.
Man, it could ragdoll Blue. It's just gonna grab Blue by the neck and just start slamming it around and everything. Just swing it around. Jesus Christ. It'll just turn Blue into a oversized chew toy.
More than the big one or Blue. And if you thought that these little guys still have an edge over the Utahraptor in terms of intelligence, guess again. Nature already answered that question over 100 million years ago.
For a second there, I thought he was holding the end of the Ankylosaur's tail. I thought it was holding the end of its tail and was about to, I don't know, rip it off or something, or at least severely damage it. Christ.
Oh, you may ask? Pack hunting. Now, the act of pack hunting was actually a prime reason why raptors became widely known in pop culture. But new evidence and research suggests social hunting was far rarer in raptors than once thought. The truth is, a majority of raptor species, or dromaeosaurs, were mesopredators, more or less. Mid-tier predators. Examples of animals functioning very much like Velociraptor today would include bobcats and coyotes, carnivores that excel at hunting small animals up to double their weight. Some occasionally hunt in packs, but they aren't built to kill large game. They lack the equipment to do damage to a large animal, and are so small that they risk catastrophic injury from a retaliation from a much heavier animal. Simply put, a gang of foxes attacking a buffalo would be suicidal, so a group of similar raptors wouldn't either. Believe it or not, this pack hunting behavior would be more common amongst the larger apex predators, as it is proven.
Yeah, which is just an extremely dangerous thing. It's like, yeah, we got the small guys, but they're usually, you know, very secluded, very, they don't like coming outside and everything. Very hermit-like, but it's the real big, dangerous shit that likes to group up and just tear everything apart. Which is just scary and just makes things worse when you have to deal with these guys.
By modern evidence and the fossil record. Think about wolves, spotted hyenas, lions, and the orca. All of them are some of the biggest predators in their respective ecosystems, big enough to do damage to the giant herbivores that outsize them individually. Those bones with raptor tooth marks may have been more likely evidence of scavenging events, much like how many times small carnivores might take advantage of a kill after the apex predator is done eating. Utahraptor was a completely different beast, not only being one of, if not the biggest carnivore in its time and region, but also hunting ankylosaurs, iguanodonts, and young sauropods. The initial discoverers of Utahraptor also thought pack hunting made sense. So, in Jurassic, well,
they were just swarming that thing. Like, Jesus, like, they're already, like, 8 foot tall, and then they hunt in packs. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, oh my God.
We might end up having a slasher movie featuring the feathered horror as the main villain. Much better trained, lethal, cunning creatures than their smaller counterparts. Raised by their parents and being more instinctively cooperative with each other, not squabbling or fighting one another.
Dinosaurs really would make good horror movies one day. Well, if most of them were actually written well, then yeah, they probably would. Yeah. Well, at least they would for visuals and everything. That's something they would have definitely excel in.
In pointless dominance disputes, stalking and ripping humans apart with their strong limbs, high agility, and potential.
Yeah, because like, what are you supposed to do when like 3 of these things are just running up on you? Like, that's just it. Like, just you're just done. Like, at that point, it's time to just pick a god and pray. Because there ain't much else that's really gonna happen unless you got like a really good gun that could actually take these guys out, and you actually have the skills to actually take them all out before they actually get to you. Because, oh Christ.
Climbing ability to attack from above. Climbing trees or going inside buildings will no longer.
God, just imagining you're walking around in the forest, maybe hiking or something, and one of these fuckers jumps off from a tree and right on top of you, like, oh no. Oh no.
Mean you're safe. After it's blatantly clear that humans would be.
Now that I'm thinking about it, they just pick you up with their mouth by the neck or something, walk up the tree, or not walk, climb up the tree, and then just drop you, and then they just have another catch you, and then just do it again until when eventually your head just rips off from them catching you by the neck from the kinetic energy of the fall and everything, and like, yeah, is that the right word to use, kinetic energy? I don't know, but you get the point. Like, geez, like I'm just making this more sadistic, aren't I? I'm just like they get. I'm like coming up with a method they could use to just play with their food. Like, we're gonna grab one, run up the tree, and I'm gonna drop it, and you're gonna catch him, and we're gonna repeat the process until when one of us catches him, his head rips off from his body from the force of the fall. Like, Jesus Christ.
Absolutely demolished by this new
more so they rip his head off from the rest of his body because they're catching him by the head while the rest of the body is falling. Yeah, I wanted to be more specific in case people didn't get what I was trying to say. Yeah.
To the franchise, how does the Utahraptor rank among the other raptors in this series?
Probably high.
Raptor meets raptor. So, what would happen if our Utahraptors bumped into the Velosa, Atrosa, or Pyroraptors?
Probably
would they try
well.
to team up? Would they duel? Well, nature can provide a pretty grisly answer.
Okay.
In the present day, apex predators are often the #1 cause of death for some types of small carnivores.
No.
This is because those at the top of the food chain don't start out that way. The smaller predators might go out of their way to try and kill the offspring of apex predators to take them out before they grow to full size.
Yeah, I was about to say they take them. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They take them out so they don't, get their full potential and everything.
So, the apex predators often have two responses to detecting the
I'm
carnivores.
just seeing this off-topic thing. I'm just seeing this. This has to be annoying as an animal. Having a shitload of bugs just covering your face and everything. Like, ugh. That's gotta be annoying. And I imagine that happens to a lot of dinosaurs too. Especially with whatever bugs were alive back then too. Which, I don't know what type of bugs were alive back there. But it definitely isn't something I would like to see. Especially since I fucking hate bugs. Yeah.
The next size tier down. Search and destroy. That's right, in the Utahraptors' home range of the Cedar Mountain Formation were also other species of raptors, not that much smaller than the ones seen in the Jurassic series. On just pure instinct, Utahraptor would instantly register the smaller raptors as a threat and competitor, attacking them on sight and eliminating problems later on. With a massive weight advantage, stronger jaws that could smash right through their bodies, the smaller raptors wouldn't stand a chance against the genius bruisers.
Yep, and they're just like, fuck it, we monopolizing on this shit. You can the fuck out. Like, fuck the competition, man.
The likes of Velociraptor, Utahraptor, and Pyroraptor would have no choice but to run for their lives.
Yeah.
Those stupid enough to fight back end up stabbed, rended, and crushed. Make no mistake, if nature shows us anything, it's that those who'd fight back against stronger odds only find themselves on another creature's menu.
Yep.
But how would nature's ultimate raptor fare against mankind's own ultimate raptor? The Indoraptor. For a quick recap,
This will definitely be very interesting.
let us remind you that the Indoraptor is not that much bigger than one fully grown Utahraptor.
Okay.
Going off most of the official stats, the Indoraptor is somewhat heavier and more durable, but that might just buy it time instead of assuring victory.
Alright.
Performance-wise,
And then there's also the fact that there's only one Indoraptor while there's multiple Utahraptors, so I'd say in a one-on-one situation, the Utahraptor, or not the Utahraptor, the Indoraptor could probably pull off a win. Well, maybe, if anything, that's probably about to get proven wrong, possibly. But I'm going off of what I think in the moment. So, in the moment, right now, I think an Indoraptor could pull off a win against a Utahraptor, but since, the Indoraptor is alone in this world and doesn't have any other Indoraptor to back it up, the moment more Utahraptor shows up, it's dead. It's gone. Like, just, no. Nope.
Hybrid admittedly had some major kinks to work out. Its maniac nature and awkward posture did not impede it much in the task it was meant to do, kill humans. And it likely would have performed well against even larger berserk predators like we've previously analyzed on this channel. But consider that the hybrid struggled handily against a mad Velociraptor, a fraction of its weight.
And yeah, never mind. Utahraptor collapsed the Indoraptor. Yeah, because I had to remember that. That brought back a lot of memories I needed to know. Yeah, the fact that it did struggle with blue. Yeah, that's... The Indoraptor's getting clapped by a Utahraptor.
Wait, who had just gone through surgery.
Even one-on-one, like... And, yeah, and that too. Like, Jesus Christ. The surgery as well? Like, Jesus. Yeah, Endo's getting clapped by Utahraptor. Just... Like, even one-on-one. Like, and then just adding in more Utahraptors is just unfair at this point. Like, Christ. Oh, boy.
And a blood transfusion. This time, the Indoraptor will not only face one, but at least a few of these Utahraptors.
Yeah.
Its tough hide does protect it from gunfire, but if it works anything like Kevlar, cutting, stabbing, and crushing injuries from an especially large Utahraptor may prove troublesome. It would be a ferocious fight, and a Utahraptor may be fatally injured. But against the well-coordinated attacks from many well-armed super raptors, the chances of this Indoraptor surviving are very, very low.
Yeah.
A solid pack of at least 4 to 5 Utahraptors may prove a sufficient menace to establish themselves as the most dangerous force in the entire series. Even the thick hides of the T-Rex and Spinosaurus would be cut into and rendered, especially since the hide of Rexy was left with decades-old scars from just one gutsy raptor less than a third of the weight of one of these Utahraptors. Now that we know the true power of these beasts, it's only a matter of time until the Jurassic series shows us what the greatest of the raptors could do.
Yeah, it's curious. It would be cool to see if the series got like a reboot from the start, but with adding in more than just Velociraptors and T-Rex. Because that's another issue I have whenever I look back on the Jurassic franchise, is that they didn't really showcase as many dinosaurs that you'd think. I mean, of course they did, because, you know, they had the Triceratops, Brontosaur, or not Brontosaur, fucking Brachiosaur, or Pterodactyl. Actually, Pterodactyls didn't show up until the damn third one, did they? And, like, what all did they show in, like, the first movie? They showed all the herbivores, except they didn't. Well, not all of them, but they showed like a good bit. And even then they didn't stay around a lot for the movie, because, you know, we're more focused on the carnivores. We got the T-Rex, the Velociraptor, and of course we got the Dilophosaur. But even then, I just feel like we just need more. You know, like, or is that just me, or am I just being what's the word? What's the word? Like, maybe I'm just asking for too much, though. Maybe that's what it is. And sometimes too much isn't good either, so maybe I'm just bullshitting right now. Maybe I'm just going on a rant that doesn't mean shit. I don't know. Maybe we could see more, but, you know, being done in a good way, you know? Because sometimes more isn't always better, but I feel like it could if done right. Yeah. I'll leave it on that. No. Oh, that's the end. Oh. Okay. I thought we were having more, but okay. Well, that was a really good video, and it's good to know that the Utahraptors pretty much clap like a lot of things in this series. Oh man, now I really want to see them being introduced into the Jurassic franchise. I mean, they're making a new movie, so maybe we'll get a chance for them to be in that one. Maybe. One would hope. Will they? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't been looking into the rumors and stuff on that. I just know it's being a thing. So, yeah. For all I know, we're getting a new hybrid or something. I don't know. But it'll definitely be interesting regardless. And anyways, I'm going to end the video now. So if you enjoyed it, check out the original one, which will be in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Have a good day, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.